Morning, this is Kamera again. We're on day number 100. 100 days of reading the Word of God from cover to cover in 1 year. We're on our 100th day. So now, today, 2 Samuel chapter 19 through 21. Absalom is dead. King David's son is dead, and he was killed by King David's commander Joab. Yeah. So David is now grieving. He's grieving really bad. His troops are back to camp, and they're feeling bad about how David is mourning. Like they just feel really bad. Joab confronts David, tells him, "Dude, what are you doing? You're acting like you love the people who hate you and hate the people who love you. Your troops are really feeling bad. They feel like they've done something wrong. If you don't go and address them, then you're not going to have not one man by morning time, basically." And so, you got to admit that's good advice. Being a leader, David, his son, he lost his son. The son who David feel he failed. Maybe he was thinking that I need to reconcile my son. He's probably feeling like he's a bad father. Where did I go wrong? Hoping that they get it together before it's too late. He was in father mode. And we are human. We have wife mode. We have mother mode. We have daughter mode. We have woman mode or man mode. We have, father modes. We have those modes, we have husband modes. But in this case, David, you need to be a king. You can, be a father mode, a grieving father mode, and elsewhere. But now you need to be a king first. Yeah. So he goes and he addresses the people, and now they feel better. Their morale is now built, right? Meanwhile, the Israelites who were following Absalom, Israel's army, they decided to just go ahead and go back to their homes, go back to their places. But guess what? There's an argument going on. We had anointed Absalom as king, and now he's dead. David, when he actually got rid of the Philistines for us, we need to call him back as king. So there's arguments going on about Israel. David is concerned that Judah has not come to him since the battle has been over. He sends Abiathar, the priest Abiathar, and Zadok back to address the people about this concern. He also sends word to Amasa, says, Amasa, I want to make you a commander just as Joab is a commander. Amasa talked to Judah, and brings them back with him to David. Yeah, it's a lot of mess going on. During David's journey back home to Jerusalem, he's greeted with so much love. I mean, he have 100 Benjamites there assisting him with his cross back over to Jordan, to Jerusalem. Shemiah, the one who disrespected David, sending those insults and throwing rocks at David, he's there apologizing to David. David's like, okay, fine, I won't take your life. And so your life is spared. Ziba, Mephibosheth's servant, the one who assists with Mephibosheth, the one who greeted David with those donkeys and the bread and the one who said that Mephibosheth couldn't make it. Him and his sons, 15 of them, and his 20 servants greet David. So, and then you have Barzillai, I think his name was. He was the one who supplied David with food and blankets and sleeping mats and cooking pots. And he was very grateful. David invited him back to his palace, but he's like, no, I can't do that. I'm 80 years old. I can't even, food has lost its flavor. I can't even hear the music anymore. He said, but I'll send my son, Kimton or something like that. And David said, I'll do whatever you want me to do for him. So 1,000 Benjamites, not 100, 1,000. And they all assist him. How about when Shemiah came up and apologized to David? Abishai. Abishai wanted to kill him when he was delivering those insults, and he still wanted to kill him. David's like, no, this is not a day for execution. And so, yeah. But Abishai, I find that he seems to really love David. Like, he protects David. He sees David as the morning, like a light, God's light. I find that he really does love David, And so, yeah, Judah and Israel, they start to argue over David. Why does David have to stay with you guys? And Judah's like, he's our peoples. He come from our clan, that type of thing. And Israel's like, well, there's 10 of us. We'll show him more love, 10 times as much love. Yeah, they're going back and forth. And there's this guy named Sheba who is like, hey, who is this David? This David, the son of Jesse. And they start to follow him. Israel starts to follow Sheba. What is it about Israel versus Judah, right? Unbelievable. Anyway, David gets to his palace. Starts a clean house. Those 10 concubines, the one that was left to take care of the palace, who Absalom slept with, yeah, David put them in seclusion, and they remained there as widows until they died. David puts together his troops, and he's like, listen, Amasa, I need you to mobilize the troops. We need to go after Sheba. He's going to be worse than Absalom. Well, he didn't tell him that, but I believe he told Abishai that, because Amasa took too long to get back to David. So David's like, we need to get on this. So he calls Abishai, tell him we need to take care of this Sheba. This Sheba's going to be worse than Absalom was. We need to deal with him now. So then Abishai and his brother Joab, the king's bodyguards, and the mighty warriors go after Sheba. So they get to this fortified city. And a wise woman calls Joab and say, do you guys really want to destroy a very important part of Israel? And so he's like, no, we really don't. We just want Sheba. She said, okay, give me a moment. I'll take care of this. She goes over. I don't know what she told her peoples, because next thing you know, Sheba head was coming over the wall, basically overthrown to Joab. Anyway, Joab has Sheba head. He calls back everyone, and they head back to Jerusalem. So that was a successful trip. No battle required. Whoa, right? And so the Philistines, before that, is it before that? No. Philistines, they decided they want to make more war again with the children of Israel. How about this? They're giants. And so before I go into that, there was a famine. There was a 3-year famine we're fast forwarding. There was a 3-year famine in Israel. And you guys already know, if there's a famine, God is not pleased with something. What were the children of Israel doing? What were they not doing? But in this case, David, he seeks the Lord and say, what's up? What's going on? God's like, well, the Gibeonites, yeah, you guys made a treaty. We made a treaty with them that we wouldn't destroy them. Even though they're not Israelites, we made a treaty with them. Yeah, even though they deceived them. Remember that, guys? For that treaty? Anyway, we need to take care of that situation. Saul tried to kill them off after the treaty. God honored that treaty. And Saul tried to kill off those Gibeonites. We need to make peace with them. And so David goes to the Gibeonites. What can we do? They're like, money cannot solve this problem. We need 7 of Saul's sons. So David sends them 7 people from Saul's lineage, 7 men from Saul's lineage, not Mephibosheth though, because he had made that treaty with Jonathan that he'd take care of Jonathan's house. And so, so they killed 7 of men from Saul's lineage, So David finds out that the mother of 2 of those men who were sacrificed or killed or assassinated or whatever you want to call it, was there protecting her son from buzzards eating their bodies or what have you. And so he sends for those bodies of those men who were killed. And he also sends for Saul's bones, Saul's and his son's bones. Remember, Jabesh-Gilead was the one that removed those bones from that wall that the Philistines had pinned them up against. And the men from Jabesh-Gilead had taken the bones and buried them, burned Saul and his boys and buried the bones. And so now David's calling all that back, and he buried the bones of Saul and his sons and those 7 men from Saul's lineage in the tomb of Kish, Saul's family, I guess his father's tomb. Anyway, that's where we are right now in that point. So get this. Last thing happened in the books that we read today, there was a battle with the Philistines. This time there were giants, all giants basically, and from the Philistines. And David participated in that battle. But get this is where we learned that David is really getting too old to fight, because he started to get weary and exhausted and weak. And this is the thing, Abishai had to save him. Yeah, this giant was about to kill David. Abishai had to save David. So they tell him, they say, you know what? You are worth 10 of us. We can't have you dying out here. So from this point on, how about we do the fighting, okay? And so, yeah, that's how that is. Guys, this story right here really gets me. So much happened in here. Remember, David's struggle, his battle, his problem that he was going through is now no longer, but through that battle, he received some love from people. He also received some hate. He didn't deserve it, but he knew that God had told him that things were going to happen, and he took it like a champ. They did unfold. Another thing is Joab. Joab is ruthless. Everything Joab does may seem underhanded, but he made tough decisions that David just could not, or just did not, or God did not tell him to. But Joab was really focused, and he was serious about getting things done. And sometimes we have people in our camp that just get things done. And Joab was that person making hard calls. Does that make him a better person? I don't know. That's kind of hard. I mean, there's a lot to look at in this right here. But there's so much. Just ask God for understanding. What is it you want me to get from your word today, Lord? What is it? And so, yeah, take the time. Read this word yourself. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that I finished. But guys, 100 days in a row with you. Hello, discussing the word of God. So, yeah, we're on our 100th day. And that second